Now, part of the network thing you really need to know is shortest path. There's really no magic way of doing it, but you have to do it really systematically. All right? It's a weighted network, and you need to think about the distance or the time, and it could be related to cost as well. All right? So the shortest distance may give you the least amount of cost. So think about how you can use your knowledge of network and actually find the shortest path. It's systematic. You've got to do it very carefully. And if you do it carefully, you'll be fine. All right? So let's start. What I'm going to do is to show you something like this. So if I want to go from somewhere in Cambridge Street, Wembley to Shenton College, I can use up Google Maps and it will give me the shortest route. Right? So it's telling me where to go. Basically, this is using graph and network theory. All right? Now, we can actually look at distance. If I want to travel from H to W, what is the shortest distance? That's given in kilometers between the location. All right? How am I going to navigate the network? Now just be careful. Sometimes it may not go from this end to this end. All right? Generally, we go from left to right. That's how it goes, H to W. You might be looking at something from H to F, which means when you look at the shortest path, you may have to go that way and come back. All right? So do it systematically. If not, you will get confused. So what happened is, here, this is actually the shortest distance in kilometers from H to W. So if the motorists want to think about saving fuel, finding the shortest distance, you got to use distance in kilometers. If not, it could be time. All right. The number of each road gives a travel time in minutes between the location. All right. Just concentrate, please. Now, the shortest path here in this case is no longer the distance. It's time. All right. So here is a weighted graph, and each H is giving you the travel time. So again, if you want to, depends on whether you're in a hurry, whether you're going to travel from H to W in time or distance. Time and distance doesn't really, in this case, may not necessarily be. Shortest distance doesn't mean the shortest time. All right. It could be, there could be traffic jam, could be whatever. So you may have to use the shortest time, but the route might be a little bit longer. All right. So now, here I've given you a network. If I want to travel from A to D, all right, 3 different networks. This is a more straightforward one. More straightforward one where you can do it by inspection. So I highlighted the word by inspection. How do I do it by inspection? All right. So first thing, let's take this network. All right. I go from A to B. That's 5 minutes or 5 kilometers. It depends what the unit is. A to C, 6 minutes or 6 kilometers. So you know I could go or C to D, which is 14, and A to D, which is 12. All right? So that will give me the shortest either kilometers or shortest time. So from here, I know that the shortest path is A, B, and D, 12 kilometers. By inspection, you won't get this in the past. All right? I'm just showing you because you need to know. All right? Now, by inspection, pretty straightforward. If you're asked to highlight it on the network, do it that way, scribble it. The next one, again, you can do it by inspection. ABD is 29, ACD is 30, and AD directly is 36. So of course, I'll go A, C, and D. No, hang on, it's wrong. It's ABD. I don't know why I highlighted ACD. I'll change it later. It's ABD, which is 29 kilometers. My fault. All right. Now, my eyes wasn't working this morning. That's all. Then, of course, the next one, a little bit more complicated. A, B, C, D, or A, B, D, or A, D by itself. Now, looking at that, I need to go via B, C, and D because that will give me 28 kilometers. All right. So you could see that these are more straightforward by inspection. However, when it comes to this, something like this, which is I've given it to you is here. We're going to work through it together. How are we going to determine the shortest path? Let's say this is distance. I want to go from A to Z. All right. So good idea if you like. Sometimes indicate this is a starting point, this is a finishing point, when it is not obvious. All right. It could be the finishing point could be F, which means you might have to go that way, but you don't know. So this time, make sure that if this one is pretty straightforward, you know which one, where the start, where the finish point is. All right. Now let's start. What you need to do, this one I've made it easy. I've given you this for you to write the time in. Sometimes you have one of these network with just a dot, and you have to write the time above. That's all. It's not a big difference, but this one is slightly more straightforward. You've got the circle for you to work on. I start off with writing O. All right, this is 0 time. A, that's the starting point. All right, and then I will look at here, B and C. Now, I can go A, B, A, D, or A, C. All right, think about this bit here. If I want to find the time traveling to D, shortest time, ignore all the other network, all the other points. Read first. If I want to travel to D, I can go A, B, D, or A, C, D, correct? Now, here, there's only one way of going there, so the shortest road is 10. The shortest path will be 17. So from there, what I would do is I would just write down both, 10 and 17. All right? Then I can work on D because I don't know whether the shortest is ADD, ACD, or AD directly. Now looking at that, you know that that is 26, this is 15, this is 29. So therefore, here you will use AD. That's the shortest. All right? Fill it in, AD. Next, look at E or look at F. It really doesn't matter because you're moving from here to here. But I'm going to look at E first. Here, E, I can go from B to E or D to E, correct? Two of them you've got to consider. That will give me 22, that will give me 25. So I'll pick the least, the smallest amount, which is 22. All right? I can go to H, but I still have to go look at G first. So let's not worry about this. I can't do G because I need to work on F first. All right? Because G, you have to, if I go from C to G, I can go for C, F, G. So I need to look at F first. So looking at F, that is one straight line only, one path. So 17 plus 15 is 32. All right? Now, doesn't matter whether it starts from G or H. I'm going to look at G first. So G, that is 35. That's 34. That is 41. So 34. That's the shortest way coming. Systematically, now I look at H. E to H, that is 39. That is 38. That is 42. So I pick that 30. What did I pick? 38. 39?
You
Sorry.
added, it's D to G, you just
D to
didn't,
G.
you added 19, not 20.
D to G, that is,
It's 20.
hang on, where have I, what mistake have I done?
20 plus 15 is 35.
35, not 34.
No, 35 is right.
34 is right because I'm going from here.
Oh,
No, you went from C to
C to C, C to G, so instead of 34 is right. So
15
15,
to H is 38.
38 and 39. Hang on. I made a mistake. See, even systematically, I got myself all confused. That is 15 plus 20, that's 35, that's 34. So 34 is correct. All right? 15 plus that, that's 38.
Yeah.
All right, that's 38. And that is 39. So I should have picked 38. And then from here, 38, that's 48, 34 and 12, 46, 32 and 18. So you know that that's the right one to pick. All right? So let's move backwards. Look at the shortest path.
Yeah.
That to there, I'll pick that rather than that. Okay? From here to here, I will go here. 17, 34 minus 17. Gives me that, and this is it. All right? So the shortest path is that. So I missed that, that's incorrect, but I still get the shortest path. It depends on whether the question asks you to state the shortest path or asking you to highlight it on the graph. Highlight it on the graph, make sure that you scribble it. All right, do not use highlighter, scribble it. Yeah, this is a technique I use, shortest path. Because I don't know whether it's time or whether it's distance, I use 46 units. All right, let's try the next one. Can you all try this, please? Determine the length and the root of the shortest path from A to H. The length, so it should be in kilometers, but it's not stated. You will have a lot of different way of testing you in this. It could be talking about connection of pipe, connection of cable, or whatever. All right? Start from A. You start from there, a 0. You cannot go to D first. You've got to look at C first and B first. I mean, this one, you definitely will be able to do those two first. And then think about that, and then go to H. The variation to this question is generally, the start is you work out the shortest path, and then you think about variation in the network. If something is broken down, for example, the path between D and G is not there, what would happen? All right?
There's actually quite a lot on this test. I don't think it's going to be a test. You said exam. Always exam. So, isn't that bad?
No, it's just a lot on the test.
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially with all the graphs and shit.
You won't get penalized if you don't start and finish. Just, I'm asking you to do that is when it's not obvious that it's the right at both ends. Right? I would say that is this. You have to write it down. You cannot, you must do it because in the exam, we are very specific that if you do not work on the diagram, if you don't write down the time and stuff like that, you will not get marked. All right, you cannot just guess. You have to show the examiner. You have to write it down. I know generally this will be in the calc-free section because you're expected to be able to do addition.
So,
Yeah.
is this going to be the test or not?
Of course.
This.
Yeah, this will be the this we are finishing off the topic for the test next week. Yes.
So
This
it's
is the
gonna
last topic.
be- it's gonna be the test.
So if I do that the next bit, I do B and C, which is 10 and 17. All right? Then I look at D. You have to be able to do it systematically. I know the simpler one, you can do it by inspection, but you won't get something which you can do it by inspection. And I'm going to go through some exam style question tomorrow. All right? And then look at D, which is 15. And then I'm going to E. So that is from D to E, 11. C to F, 25. Then 29 and 40. Right? Agree?
I'm doing the next one.
Anyone disagree with my answer?
It's like, holy shit.
All right. No one say this. I'm wrong. I told you I can be wrong. 40 units, and that's a 1.
Let's go with my G.
All right. Oh, wait, sometimes I do. I forgot to do the circles
So
to
do you
make
say
sure that I know
units
the
if
road.
they don't
All right.
give anything?
Sometimes I do that.
Oh no, give
It's
you
a good
time.
idea to do that
No,
if you want
that's
to.
what-
All right.
Units, yeah.
So that you know.
Do you
We
have
don't
to
know
put
what
the units?
what the distance is, whether it's in kilometers or meters or whatever. I just use units. All right, last example. These are all the basic examples. You need to know how to do this first. Once you can do this, I will explain what this sort of question will what sort of question will come out from here. So do that first. Find the shortest path. Find the shortest path first.
You get 92?
Yeah. A, B, D. E, F, H, I. What's the time? Is it 92 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Oh
can't
shit,
remember.
shit, no, fucking it says in minutes. Yeah. I thought it said.
All right. This is my answer. Okay. Not yet. Hang on. All right. At least I'll show you those two first. All right, check the answer. I think it's 90, I can't remember. 92. I got 92. It's very easy to make mistake, this one. Adding up is very easy to make mistake, especially if you've got a lot coming. Now, what I want all of you to do is, at least for today, chapter 8D, 1 to 10. Alright? We'll do some of the exam style question tomorrow. Do 1 to 10 first. I put down all of 8D today. What happened is, it will be something like this. If you're traveling from A to I, the question will say that something would happen to DE. What is the new shortest route? Alright? Or it will say that something will be changing in AD to shorten the road. And what will be the newest route now? And things like how much it needs to be shortened by. That sort of question. Alright? And things like if they ask you if something like it has to be shortened by, you must give a range. Like for example, it has to be shortened by more than certain time. Once you calculate, let's say, if I want to shorten this, all right? I want to use this path instead of that path. So that will be, this is 53 minutes, that is 47 minutes. So I do need to shorten that by at least 53 minus 47, which is 8 minutes, at least 8 minutes, a minimum of 8 minutes. Correct? So if that's shortened by 8 minutes, that will then no longer be 47. If it is 8 minutes, it's 47. But if it's 9 minutes, that will be 46. Correct? So you've got to think about answering a question like this, how you phrase your answer. You will work out, yes, the minimum changes is 8 minutes, but then what? Answer the question. All right, I'll do some exam style questions tomorrow.